sent her brother a video. The world doesn't know what's coming. So the first flight there, Charlie, be on the first flight. I'm telling you. Listen, there's stuff going on in the... Oh. You've heard of this transgender stuff. You don't know how serious it is. You don't know how serious it is. You think it's just about a man wanting to be a woman. You don't know how serious it is. Now they don't just want that. They said because you can't call them he or she, call them they. No, so if such a person is in the class and he's writing an exam, do you know the confusion that is coming in the world? No, if he's writing an exam and he wants to say, and I went, he will say they went. How would the teacher know it's a trans who is writing the paper? And if he says they, how are you going to? Because you are reading something. There has to be consistency. They said now they should be called they. Don't. So a time is coming. You don't know the serious. A time is coming. If you see this young lady and you say, no, maybe you're asking somebody to call her. You say, please call her for me. You are in trouble. You can go to jail. She can sue you straight up for referring to her as her. No, it's that serious. And you know the sad thing, it has to do with feelings. So if she feels she's a woman today, so imagine she told you previously that she's they, and then before you met her again, now she feels she's a she again, and then you say they, you are in trouble again, because now you are supposed to refer to her as her. It has to. They said it's about feelings. So now they have trans amputee. Oh, I'm serious. When somebody feels, I should amputate my hand, it's the person's right. It's now trans amputee. The hand is cut off. Now we have trans baby, a full-grown idiot of a man says he's now trans baby. He says I'll send you. He says he's now trans baby. He feels it's a baby. He says he feels it's a baby. So he has done a baby cut. A full-grown man with beard. He has a baby cut. And he has his bottles. And he says the good thing about it is that he's a baby who can talk too. Can express himself. You have trans baby. I'm not joking, no. I'm talking about serious stuff. We have trans baby. Which trans again was there? There was trans amputee, trans baby. He feels he's a baby. No, imagine somebody like our brother Ezekiel. And I'm talking about the man, his beard was like Ezekiel. And he was in diapers. He says he feels like he's a baby now. And was drinking from and they were interviewing one woman, and she's like, what should a man have the right to describe her as a woman? And then the interviewer asked, are you a cat? Yeah, he asked, no, you said, what right does somebody have to describe you as a woman? Right? I mean, what right does the person have? So how will we know a woman from a cat? So they asked, so are you a cat? Then she realized it was a deep question and she walked away. Because that's how we can differentiate. Now you said nobody has the right to describe you as a woman. So how do we know what you are and when you are that thing you claim you are? Because the next moment you could be trans dog. Good. It has come. Now, they said there are some states. You see the LGBTQ. The Q is for queer. When somebody is queer, right? They should, I don't know. With the queer, they still added a plus. I mean, after queer, what is there again? They added plus. Do you know what it means? And listen, their aim is not for you guys, so because you are, at least most of you have been influenced. So now the plan is they are going for the kids. Because what they present to them at that level, you see what God himself did? He says the Israelites, he couldn't do anything with them. So what did he do? He went for what? The young ones. They were the ones he could build on. Now they are going for so they are fighting for the rights of the kids to identify with this stuff. Huh? So now they said, you claim that a person should be 16, 18, or 21 to be able to drive because the person is an adult. Yet, now you say a child, 2, 3, 4, can decide the kind of sex they want. No. Are you listening to yourself? Something like driving, you claim that the person should be 18. Yet something as serious as determining the sex of a person, you said the child should have the right. So, and how would the child know that? Unless somebody drums it into the child. The child will never take such a decision. That's why they are doing that. Drumming it into trying to rope in the children. And you may think it's just about trans. The thing is deeper than trans. You see, they want to mutate. The plan is to mutate the human genes. There was even a gay lady who was saying, back then, this is a guy who is gay, trans. You can't even tell. He's trans, gay. He says he's trans. Some are all. And you know what he was saying? He says at their time, what they understood this gay rights to be is that I'm a man, but I want to feel free to act like a woman. So I can put on my lipstick, I can wear the heels and all that. I mean, I want that freedom. But now you are saying we should be injected with stuff. You get me? Not just to dress like them, but to start having features like them. He says, no, this thing is going, this is a trans who was saying this. He says this thing has gone deeper than what we were standing for. Now they want to mutate the genes and stuff. So a time is coming, you will go out there and you see a man bearded with huge breast, huge buttocks. I don't know. You start seeing mutated stuff in the system. Listen, I'm now believing. Have you seen? Sometimes you watch some of the movies. This galaxy of the what? Yeah, and you see all kinds of creatures moving about, and it's like it's one world. Brother, we are getting close. When they show you this stuff, listen. These things are deeper. They are working on stuff. Because if you get to a point somebody says he wants to have a tail, they can work on that. They can inject the person with something to have a tail. So you see a man coming with a tail, or you see a woman coming, and you see somebody says, I want whiskers. You get me? Listen, are you telling me science can't work on these genes? They will. So very soon we'll walk around and we'll see mutated species. You watch Avatar and stuff and you think that is all. You watch. Let's give ourselves 20 years from now, 25 years from now. You'll be shocked. You walk into the streets. Here we don't see that much. White people are walking in the street and they are seeing men, dressed with lipstick and all that. What can't we see again? And you know what the queer means? It means I shouldn't fit in. So do you know what they are saying? They said a child has the right that if he feels he or she is a cat, allow that child to feel catty. So if this child goes to school, listen, if this child goes to school and the teacher is asking questions, say, James, define matter. The child can get up and just start meow, meow. Because at that moment, he feels he's a cat. They said you can't do anything to that child. Because at that time, the child feels he or she is a cat. And how many children will take advantage of this? I know. Cats don't write exams. If it's time for exams and they've got... No, No, I'm serious. If it's time for exam and the guy says he feels it's a cat and he wants to just hop on 4 and move out into, or he feels it's a lion, he wants to move into the jam, he won't write that paper. You have no right to fail that child. You don't know the confusion coming into the system. Yet we are in the peak of what they call civilization, and this thing is coming from developed countries. He said if the child feels he's a bird, allow that child. That's what the queer means. And this is what people who have been educated are fighting for. That these things should be given rights. So imagine. You can be anything at any time you want. I mean, anything at any time. You had the child, answer the... Or listen, you get to a crime scene, and then you are questioning, and the person says, at this moment, I feel I'm a dog. Yeah, whoa. Did you? Whoa. Yeah. You don't know the serious, even with all the laws we have. See how people are still messing up. You ask him what, he says, whoa. And he can stay that way as long as he or she wants. Listen. Oh. Let me show you something. You see, we have male, let's say washroom, male, female. They say now you should have day. Okay, that's okay. But the day is not just about, the day has to do with one who doesn't feel any of the genders. That would have been okay. That would have been okay because at least they still have a place for them. But imagine I want to go to the washroom. And right now, I say, I feel I'm what? A lady. It means I'm supposed to use the ladies' washroom. And if a lady feels she's a guy, it means that the lady is supposed to use the guy's washroom. Do you know how twisted people's minds are and the advantage they can take of this? That it means a guy can just walk into ladies' washroom. And if you ask him, he'll tell you, I feel I'm what? A lady at this moment. And you can't do anything to that. Without this, see the kind of things even going on. See the kind of rape stuff going on without this. If somebody has watched somebody walk into maybe a washroom alone and then has a bad intention and is going, nobody can question him because he can say, I feel I'm a lady at this moment. You don't know the kind of confusion coming into the world. Is that terrible? What I'm talking to you are not things that are, these things are happening in some states. These things are happening in some states already. The places some of you want to go and raise your children there. You have no right over your children. A teacher can, listen, in those states you have no right over your child. A teacher can have a session like this and just talk to the children. How many of you want to be girls? How many girls want to be boys? The teacher has the right to share these things because they have been legalized. He can share without your consent. So your child can walk home one day from school and it's like, Mommy, I feel I am a boy today. And you can't do nothing about it. And I wonder how many times people will now change their names. Because if he feels a boy today, he'll call himself what? James. The next time he feels I'm a girl, he says Yes, Antoine. Yeah, I mean, how many times people can just, it's. No, we wouldn't want to be here when these things are fully blown. We wouldn't want to be here. Not at all. And you know, these things will be enforced on churches and all that. If somebody says he's coming to church and he says he's this and that, you can't stop the person. If you do, they will send all their forces against you. All right. He says, 10. Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Then he says, 11. Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. He says what? Comfort yourselves together. Comfort yourselves what? Together. We are in the times that there's supposed to be what? Unity and the bond of love. Because isolation, there will be tribulation in the world, but there will be peace in the church. We may not have left yet, but there will be peace in the church. But there will be tribulation in the world. So if there is anywhere to be, it should be where? In the church. With the body. I just want to end with something. That's why, key word here, he says what? Wherefore, comfort yourselves. What? Together. It should tell you it means more than one. Comfort yourselves. It means there will be so much tribulation. There will be so much turbulence out there. But comfort will be in the church. You will be hearing so much bad news out there. There will be so much confusion out there. But in the church, his rod and his staff will do what? Comfort us. Like the children of God, or like the Israelites were in Egypt, but they were in the Goshen of Egypt. So we'll be in this world before the final consummation, but we'll be where? In Christ, the Goshen of God. That's where there will be peace, there will be plenty, there will be comfort, there will be peace. But in the world, it says there will be what? Perilous times, tribulations, raging madness. And I was studying on that, the word tribulation. And it says that particular word was used only twice. I want you to see the intensity of what is going to happen. One is in Timothy. And one has got to do with the story of the madman of Gadarene. Where he says he was raging mad. That was the same word that was used in 2 Timothy for the tribulation. It means the world, they said when they tie the guy, he will break the chains. He was raving mad. He was tearing himself, cutting himself with rocks. The guy he was not just mad, raging mad, violently mad. That would be the state of the world. You wouldn't want to be here. It will be tribulation, raging madness. People will do things and, you wouldn't be able to comprehend. You would ask yourself, what is this? So if what would happen was likened to the story of the madman of Gadarene, go and read that story, maybe. They said nobody could use that place. Nobody. And it was a man filled. You see what made the man raging mad? It should tell you how free demons will be. Because the church will not be here. It should tell you how free they would be. And the number that had gathered in one man. A man would, and you chain a man. If they were chaining him, they were not using the chains you put around your neck for decoration. And they would chain this man, and he had the strength. It should tell you the strength of evil at that time. The man will have the strength because of what he was accumulated with. He said he will break the chains. This will be madness that cannot be what? Hemmed or stopped. It says raging madness. But I'm telling you something. It says comfort yourselves what? Together. Then he says something after that. And he says edify one another. Edify one another. Strengthen. Build one another. So we will be in an enclosure where there will be, because the world will be exposed in a way that there will be destruction. There will be pulling down. There will be chaos. But he says you will be in an environment where You'll be built up. You'll be strengthened. You'll be edified. There will still be growth. There will still be progress. There will still be prosperity. That will happen where? In the body of Christ. Okay. Go to Hebrews 10:25. Hebrews 10:25. And then let me check. I think I've already spoken on that one. The 2 Timothy 3 verse 1. Probably you may need the verses. Okay, 2 Timothy 3. He says, "This know also that in the last days, says perilous times shall come." That's why I told you about that word that was used to describe the madman of God. He says, perilous, it will be times of madness. Or things that will be done will be associated with madness. He says, in the last days, perilous times shall come. It says, for men shall be lovers. And of course, this will be the traits that will make people act that way. Then he told you what men will be and the kind of characters that will be on the scene. It says, perilous times. Perilous times. Perilous times in the last days. So I wonder why anybody will want to isolate from the church if he is a Christian. Not the church, from the body of Christ. The last verse I gave you was what? Hebrews what? Okay. Hebrews 10 was 25. When we say these things, anytime we read this passage, people think it's because we want them to be in meetings or they are doing us a favor when we are. Summarize all the things I've taught you about in this very meeting. Then you understand why Hebrews 10:25 is non-negotiable. Hebrews 10:25, he says, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves, what? Together. As the manner of some, but exhorting. You saw that? I told you earlier. He says there will be what? Comfort. There will be what? Edification. Where? In the together. It doesn't happen individually. It can't happen when you are alone. Because when you are alone, you are isolated. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some, but exhorting one another. And so much the more as you see the day approaching. And so much the more as you see the day approaching. Which day? It's after 2 days. The first day, the second day. He says, as you see the day approaching. And how would you see the day approaching? That's the signs I gave you. 2 Timothy 3:1. He says what? In the last days, men will be what? Lovers of themselves. Read it. You will see the criteria for the last days. My right. Lovers of themselves. My right. I feel like. That's why you can feel you are a monkey. You are thinking of the lovers of themselves. He loves himself enough. Today I feel like a monkey. I don't care how it affects anybody else. Go there and read the criteria. 2 Timothy 3:1. Read it. And let's see what goes with the last days. If you are not seeing any of them in these times, then relax. Then you are in a different day.
2 Timothy 3:1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Why do you think Why do you think somebody will say, because you say you don't love me anymore, I'll kill you? Lover of himself. Maybe you don't understand. You don't understand what it means to be a lover. You don't. That he doesn't care. Once it goes beyond him, he doesn't care. All he considers is himself. You say you are leaving me. If you are leaving me, then nobody is supposed to have you. I will kill you. You say you won't give it to me. If you won't give it to me, then none of us will have it. I will do what? Kill you. Or I will steal it. Why do you think people steal from others? They are lovers of themselves. He can't see anybody else having it. I have to have it. He's a lover of himself. Oh, listen, the foundation of all evil has got to do with selfishness. The foundation of all evil has got to do with what? Selfishness. Even when he claims that he wants to do it because of you, it is because of him. Oh, elect me. When I come, I'll serve you. No, you will serve me. It's because of him. That's it. That's the foundation of what? Evil. Lover of. That's why he came first. It says men will be lovers of themselves. Go on.
Covetous.
Covetous.
Boasters.
If that is not what we have in these times, then I wonder what we have. I have to have it. If it means rituals, it has to happen. Covetous. They will do everything. Go on.
Boasters.
Which generation is more boastful than this generation? Tell me. And social media has vamped it. Anytime you go, listen, it's all about boasting. Social media now is all about boasting. Social media is all about boasting. You have to put something there so that they'll see you. People will stand by cars that don't belong to them, buildings that don't belong to them. Go to places they are not going to do anything there, but just pass through to take a picture to show. I don't care what you are thinking. Maybe you don't know what boasting is. I'm defining it for you today. And each one supports the previous ones we said. They are not separated. Go on.
Proud.
A generation where self-pride. Superiority, and I told you, if you feel inferior, it's also pride, because you are thinking of yourself. When we say, "Oh, come and pray," so that I say, "Me," it's pride. You think pride is the one pride. Say, "Hey, I want to be the one to pray." No. When we say, "Come and pray," you are thinking of that's pride. As for me, I can't pray. It's pride. You think so lowly of yourself. So you say, and you think so highly. Is it not the same? One is just high, one is just low. It's pride. It is pride. Maybe you don't know what pride is. You think that is humility. He has made us worthy. He has. If you don't accept it, you are proud. Go on.
Blasphemous.
You want me to give you examples of blasphemy? Go on.
Disobedient to parents.
Tell me a disobedient to what?
Parents.
Boy. Generation, there are some places you dare not touch them. You dare not correct the child. Try it and see. Tell you plainly, I'll let them lock you up. Disobedient. I said, don't go, I will go. It is my right. I told you it's all connected. It is my right. Who are you to tell me? You can call the mother an idiot. You are stupid. I hate you. So come here. But not yet. All these things are coming in, but not yet. Not when we are around. I'll beat you and they'll lock me up, brother. I'll beat you and they'll lock me up. I'm telling you. I will beat you and they'll lock me up. And I'll serve the sentence and come out and beat you again. You are fooling and I'm checking you. You are telling me it's your right to fool. They should have brought that law earlier. Then when I gave birth to you, I should have said, I have the right not to like you, so let us kill you. Of course, that's also my right. I will beat you. They can do it, they're not here. It has not yet come here, so we are taking advantage of it. Also, seize opportunities. I didn't say I would abuse you. I said I will beat you. I'll correct you if you misbehave. Children are now walking all over. Outside, they are walking over parents and adults. No respect. Tell me I'm stupid. I relax for you. So I want us to go to our family house. I want to show you. If I was there, like the way I've been brought up, and then I gave birth there, and then my child, oh, Dad, stop being an idiot. No problem. No problem. I won't say anything. Now, so this summer vacation, I want us to go to. I bought some real estate and stuff. I want to go and show you the properties I'll leave for you. The day we land at Kotoka, right from Kotoka, I'll start. Your baptism will begin. I had one friend, that's what the mom did. He was going back and forth. They made him school here. He was going back. So, that thing was instilled in him. He was going back and forth till he got to uni, and then he was now. He said, train up a child the way he should go. So when he had already, now they could release him. So if those of you who plan to raise your children out and you think life is all about slurring, get me? You think life is all, they will slur with insults on you. They will slur with disrespect on you. You're excited when you hear the child. Mommy. That's how the mommy will be, idiot. Then cry. Take care of them here. Train them here. You travel and see. You may think the things I'm telling you, you travel and see. And you see the gross disrespect out there. It's that terrible. So he says, not forsaking the assembling of the saints, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some, but exhorting one another so much more as the day, or as you see the day approaching. These are the signs that the day is approaching. So he says, if there is any time, there should be unity. There should be a convergence. There should be oneness. He says, this is the time. Because this is the only place you would find what? Comfort. You will find exhortation. Because out there will be perilous. Out there. And of course, you will be having relations. You will be relating with the out there. Of course, obviously, you are still in this world. You get me? So maybe out there with all the challenges and he says, when you come in, then you are exhorted. You are strengthened. You are energized. You hear hopelessness out there. You hear chaos out there. You hear death out there. He says, when you come here, you hear life. You receive strength. You know you can do it. You get me? There is so much degrading and downgrading out there. When you come here, you are upgraded. And you step out there to make a difference. Why would you want to? Don't exchange it for anything. Don't exchange fellowship for anything. Because the times we are in, If there's anything you really need, is to what? Assemble together. Don't let anything take you away. Oh. Let this be as important as that thing that is getting your attention. It's non-negotiable. He says, do not. He spoke with a commanding tone. He didn't say try not. He says what? Not forsaken. Not forsaken. Do not. It's a command. Nothing should be justifiable enough to exchange your fellowship with the saints for nothing. But sometimes it's very excusable. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, this, that. Then you miss one. You miss two. Oh, I don't. Then you miss three. And it means that all your encounters will be out there. You know what is out there. You know the talk out there. You know what is going on out there. You know how influential it is. You know what is happening out there. So it says, not forsaken. Not forsaken. Praise God. As you see the day approaching, brother, it is. In the last days. Perilous. It is. It's close. We have a short time. If we are calculating with the 2 days we are talking about, we have a short time. It's almost due. And if at the appointed time, they said he will come and he came, brother. And they said there's an appointed time, we'll be caught up to meet him halfway. Brother, if unless you don't believe that when he said he would come, he came at the appointed time. It is happening soon. So he says, do not awake, O sleeper. When we read the second Thessalonians, or was it first? You read the whole verse, you will see it. It talks about being watchful, being sober, being vigilant, being how? Some of the things I'm telling you. Be awake enough not to forsake the assembling of the saints. These are the things you should be awake to. Be awake to the truth that the day is approaching. Don't sleep. Don't get distracted by the challenges of life. And sleep and slumber. And before you realize, you drift off. You will be afflicted. It says, when I turned from your word, I was afflicted. I refuse to be afflicted. I'm staying in God's protective zone. He says what? Not forsaking the assembly. Not forsaken. Rise up on your feet. It's a sober message I brought to you.